Hey, perfect spirit. I hope you're having a really good day, taking good care of yourself, creating that transformation, that miracle in your life right here, right now. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Sam, and they call me the Miracle Man. Miracle Man because I was sick for lots and lots of years, and now I've been healthy for the last 10 because I got rid of this head trash, this mental noise, these stories that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't deserving, always wondering what else was going to go wrong. But this is all noise. And once I remembered I was perfect spirit, then all my ailments went away. So today I want to talk about there's been lots of news about how social media is damaging to the mental health. And we see this in all sorts of parts of society. It doesn't have to be social media. Like last night during soul messages, somebody was worried about pursuing a relationship because she was worried about what other people would think of that. And we need to let go of what other people think of us. That's really the head trash. And let go of this judgment, this comparison. Like I know I'm an entrepreneur and sometimes in the life coaching space. So there's all these types of coaches out there saying, "Hey, make 6 figures in your business," and they keep giving you the stuff that you're and try to get you in scarcity mindset. Like if you do this, you can make 6 figures. But if you look at their clientele, let's say they're working with 100 clients. How many of their clients are making 6 figures? You know, it's not going to be 100%. Maybe 3 to 5%, maybe 10% of people are really motivated. But we have to see that we are the creators of our reality, and we can't allow the opinions of others. Hey, perfect spirit. I hope you're having a great day, taking good care of yourself, creating those miracles, that transformation in your life by being here in this moment. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Sam, and they call me the Miracle Man. Some call me Head Trash Baba. But basically, I help people out of their head trash. That's all the noise that tells you that you're not good enough, and you're not worthy. It's a source of stress, overwhelm. It's just a lot of nonsense up here in this mental noise. But we get so identified, so trapped by that. We're not living life on our terms. So today I want to talk about the damage that social media causes. It might not be social media, it could be other people as well. We have to realize though, when we see social media, other people, like we saw this last night on Soul Messages, which I do every Monday night, is that somebody was worried about pursuing a relationship because they were too worried what other people would think of her. Well, who cares what other people think of you? Because that's just head trash. Why are you giving their head trash power over you? And your worry is your own head trash, guessing what they're going to think of this person. It ultimately doesn't matter. Does it feel right to you? If it does, then do that. Is it causing harm to others? No. So go pursue that. Go pursue what's in your heart. So when we have all this social media creating comparisons, judgments, not good enough, scarcity, they're all building on this fear because the mind's always in a default mode of what's going wrong, what's not right. It's always in this defense mechanism. So it's always judging, comparing. And so you see these people looking a certain way, so you want to look that way. Or maybe people advertising make these high incomes and you start thinking about all this high income and that you could do this too. But if you really look behind the curtains for those kind of ads to make high income, let's say they have 1,000 clients. I can assure you that 1,000 other clients are not making 6 figure plus, whatever they're advertising, their high income. It's probably be a much smaller percentage, maybe 3%, maybe 5%. And if people are really motivated, not having that head trash define them, then maybe it's 10% or maybe a little higher, but it's definitely not 100%. But that's what the mind is constantly focused on is scarcity. What am I missing? Where am I not good enough? Where am I not deserving? But really, what's in your heart? And just marching to our own drummer. So when we're seeing social media making you feel, depressed, for example, or maybe you feel anxious, overwhelmed, concerning yourself with other people's opinions. But it's a practice to take away that power. So when people say just snap out of it, if it was that easy, then everyone would do that. You simply just can't snap out of head trash. If it was that easy, there would be no stress in the world, no overwhelm, no anxiety, no panic attacks. It's just not going to disappear with a snap of a finger. It's a practice. This has been the mind's default pattern for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, 50, 60 years. For me, it was almost 40 years until I realized it was head trash, it was noise, it wasn't my truth. But for many years, I was my bipolar, I was my multiple sclerosis. Those things are no longer in my life because I stopped believing the noise and the body came back into balance. So, how do you take away power from social media, from the opinion of other people, the stress, the overwhelm, realizing you can't just snap your fingers and say, well, poof, it's gone. Like I said, if it was that easy, there would be no stress in the world. And 80% of health ailments, I think I read, are stress related, or could be even as much as 90% of health ailments have a stress component to it. And it's really about learning to be present. And what does being present mean? It means, are you aware that you're sitting right now? Are you aware where your feet are? Are you wearing socks, shoes? How engaged are you in this moment? That's being present. Because the mind's either up in a story or here, up here or here. And mine will be here fleeting. It's just for a moment, a split second. Then it goes back up to here. Here for a moment, back up to here. So most of the time, 95% of the time, we're up in here. We're just here once in a while just to gather some information. But most of the time, 95% of the time, we're up here in the noise. But the way we get ourselves out of the noise into this moment is just notice mind thinking, mind telling a story, not good enough, not deserving, worrying about what other people think of you, future guessing, creating anxiety. So when you just notice that, you don't judge, you don't criticize that voice. You simply notice that and say, oh, okay, where are my feet? Where am I standing? What do I see right now? What am I touching right now? And that gets you into this moment. I've watched the Dalai Lama a few times, and I've always found it really interesting that he's always touching things. Like I saw this one video, somebody was like in a scooter or a walker, I forget exactly what. He walked over to the person, started to put his hand on the shoulder, put his hand on the scooter, and just was really, very tactile. Is really just touching a lot of things. I don't know if this is a conscious practice or just subconscious for him, the way they keep grounded. I wonder what he's experiencing then. Is he touching that object? Does he aware of the heat of that? Is he really get himself here for a moment? And what is he doing exactly in that his experience? But that's his practice. Whether he's aware of it or not, he's constantly touching things. He's constantly engaged in the environment. And that's all we need to do is just engage ourselves in the environment. To realize the conscious mind is either in the thinking or the feeling, you could say, the tactile, the feeling. So up in here or in this moment. And that's how you break it. Because the more times you bring yourself back into this moment, puts another gap into the thought stream. The more gaps, the more inner peace. And it's a practice. And the practice can be very quick. There's a quickening that happens when you bring yourself back into the moment, back into the moment. It just becomes a default behavior. But initially, you may be wrapped up in a story for 10, 15 minutes, an hour, a week. But when you remember, you just say, oh, there goes that mind again. Let me take a breath. Let me feel myself sitting in this chair. And that's all we need to do. But we don't judge, we don't criticize. We just notice, oh, there goes the mind again, or mind thinking. But you don't get angry, you don't get upset. You just say, just come back to here. Because anger, upset just adds more fuel to it. So you don't want to be in a state of anger, frustration with yourself. You just want to just say the body's doing what the body does. The body thinks, the mind thinks, and that's just what it does. And the thoughts never quite stop. Thoughts are a reminder that you're alive, but you can rein in so you're not in thought overwhelm, if you will, of just coming back into this moment. So when you see yourself feeling sad from social media, sad from the opinions of others, just notice that you're giving that power, putting you in a disempowered state because you're up in the mind. You're empowered, you're in your strength, your power when you are here in this moment. So just realize, are you in power, in your strength, or in your weakness? But the mind can either be a strength or a weakness. If it's dwelling about what's going wrong in this moment, it's a weakness. But the mind's telling you how to drink water, to feed yourself, to walk, then that's a good thing. Because if the mind wasn't online, if you will, we couldn't walk, we couldn't take care of ourselves, we couldn't feed ourselves, we just couldn't do any of those things. So we need to see that we can control the mind, we can get it back under control. So it may run away on occasion, but we know how to bring it back by becoming present. And maybe, initially the mind's dragging you around for a mile. Then you get it down so it's only dragging you around for a quarter mile, then eventually a tenth of a mile, then eventually 100 yards, then 10 yards, and you keep reining it in. So now the mind's like a dog on a leash. It's only like 2, 3 feet away, then you can bring it back quickly. All right, I think that's it for today, but just realize social media, the opinions of others don't have to define you. It's your choice if you want them to define you. Well, take good care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon.